And no answer is too long or too short. You know, speak as long as you want.
Okay.
What you gotta do, I gotta rush this answer, so.
That light is in the shot. I don't know how we feel about it. Might be in the shot this thing.
That's you.
I think you.
Bless you.
I think we speed up. Could you read this one out? Great. You can see if when it comes out of that shot, or when it's not so visible, there's like a pole that it blends in with.
I think it's fixing the audio on there.
Oh yeah.
I can see it. It's exactly what
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like a pole like right here that it can blend in with. I just want to scoot it over until it hits it.
What pole are you talking
The
about?
white pole. This one?
The white one?
Yeah. When does this align with it?
You've passed it.
I passed it? So I need to come back
a
this
little
way?
bit, a little bit. Keep coming. Stop.
Okay.
Come see if this is what you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Because when I step out, I just see a pole kind of just out of nowhere with a light on it, and I just want to make sure that it can at least blend in with the pole behind it. On this shot.
Hey, can you take the zebra? Sorry, Marcus, can you take Mr. Marcus? Can you take the zebra off?
Well, I guess you don't have to. I just want to see that.
This right here.
Yeah. So I guess that light.
So when you, if you hit record and then you play it, it won't show it to you.
Let's see.
So does that light look abnormal?
It does. I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see.
That light in that stain.
The reason why it looked abnormal is because I can see the reflection right here.
Mm-hmm.
If this reflection wasn't there, it would be good to go.
Okay.
So
So we
another
can
thing we
move
could
it.
do is it
Yeah,
can go
move it.
over. Can this like tilt? Can you tilt it over his head?
Or we just get closer.
Or really, you don't even need a stand for this. You can go all the way down, poof on him like that.
Or set it on a table and put it back there.
Okay.
Is it out the shot?
That did it, yeah.
Is it out the shot?
Oh man.
That did it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I seen the way your face looked.
Change everything.
Like you seen Hollywood did.
Yeah, change everything. Change everything. Doesn't matter if that's dark, because I'm still gonna like, I'm
Yeah,
still gotta
that's fine.
zoom into it.
Yeah, that's good. That works. Okay, I think we're ready. So we'll,
Yeah, I
we'll
think we're
clap.
ready to go.
We'll clap. We'll roll our cameras and,
And
we'll clap. Everybody
I think his
clap.
mic is facing down.
Everybody can clap at the same time. So we're gonna do a 1, 2, 3,
His
and
mic.
clap.
It's Mike. Give me a testing.
Yeah.
Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3.
Testing.
Stand by for roll cameras.
No,
Everybody's
you
phone
can't do
silent.
You don't gotta bend over.
No, you
Say
got-
testing.
Oh, test 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, looking at
Okay.
me testing.
Oh, okay.
Does everybody have their phones on silent?
Yeah.
Yes.
We good.
All right, and cameras are rolling.
Give me a moment, sorry. Let me take this charger off.
Wait.
I'm on this shot.
Move that out the way. Make sure my shot is good. Thank y'all for checking in, family. We are going live. We're at Arkansas Baptist College, about to highlight the META24 welding program.
Cameras are rolling. Stand by for the clap, everybody. And we will begin momentarily. Stand by for the podcast. Cameras are rolling. Cameras are rolling.
Do you need me to say something?
Stand by for clap. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and let's try it again. 1, 2, 3.
Mike's good.
Well, we was on one accord then.
Let's do it again.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, as soon as we clap, I start?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought
Oh, yeah.
I was waiting for action.
Yeah, we wait for action.
I'm sorry, okay.
And action. 1, 2, 3.
Before welding, who were you? I'm gonna start with the instructor.
Well, I grew up in the project, so I was actually a hustler. If I had to get a title, I'm gonna say I was a hustler. And when I say hustling, I'm not saying anything illegal. I'm talking about hustling. Like I was selling cans, puck-ons, newspapers, you know what I mean? And then it eventually went to drugs, but I've always been a hustler. So I started off just trying to change my situation. I just always had the passion just to do better. So that's how I started.
Well, before you were interested in welding, who were you?
Like not much, to be honest. I just kind of take things day to day as they go, and I just do what I have to do to get by. So I just work like, dead end jobs, whatever. School was always something that was in my mind, but it was never something that I thought was like actually achievable for me. Like, I don't know, just like how I grew up, it just was never something that was talked about like in my community. So, and then I got the opportunity to come here for META, and I heard about the welding program, and I've always been someone who, I like hard work and I like to work with my hands. So I thought that could be something fitting for me. And then I came here and I took like one class with Mr. Brown, and I was like, I think this is gonna be it. So.
Okay, well now I want you guys to introduce yourself. Start with the instructor.
My name is Joel Brown Jr., AKA Your Welding Coach, because I'm personal with everything I do. And I'm actually born in Little Rock, Arkansas, and I was raised in Denver and McGee in Arkansas City, Arkansas. So.
Nice. What about you?
My name is Kevin Martin. I grew up in a very small town in Texas for most of my life, and then I moved to Arkansas, and that's when I started taking things as they come.
Okay, so we'll start with Mr. Joe. How did welding first enter into your life?
I got introduced to welding while I was incarcerated. At this particular time when welding got introduced, I had gotten in trouble in prison. So prison is just like being free as far as like if you catch another charge, you got to go to court inside of prison, just same way if you do out here. So I was only in prison, I wasn't in prison 90 days, probably 30 days, I think, 30, 45 days. And I had caught a new charge. So I caught an attempted murder charge, and I had just went down to prison for drugs and robbery. So while I was down there, about 45 days, I caught an attempted murder charge for standing up for myself. And in doing that, my mom heard about the news. And so she was so excited about it because she was worried about me. I was young, I had long hair, I was from the street. So she was like, he gonna get down there with all these old men, they gonna try to take advantage of my baby. She didn't know my character. She knew I was from the streets, but she didn't know my character. Once she found out that I stabbed somebody for my manhood, she was excited. She was like, okay, I ain't got to worry about that. My baby gonna take care of itself. So she went to sleep and woke up excited to see me, but she was like, I got to give him something. Just so happened a welding commercial was on, Tulsa welding commercial at that, and it was talking about how much they can make an hour, they can travel, they can be felons and get it, and that's what caught her. That I can be a felon and I can make $100 an hour. She heard that and she was like, okay, he a hustler, he gonna grab hold to that. So that was the seed that she planted to kind of keep me focused while I was in prison. So she knew I was gonna take care of myself, but I also needed the direction. So when she found out that's when she came down. She came to visitation and she said, hey man, what do you think about welding? And to be honest with you, I looked at her and said, man, Mama, I don't know nothing about welding. What is that? You know what I'm saying? So she got to just telling me what she heard on, just on the commercial. So she was like, I'm gonna send you some stuff on it. So she probably sent me 5, 6 papers front and back. At the time it was encyclopedia, so the internet wasn't just jumping then. And in this 5 or 6 papers, it just talked about the introduction of welding, the terminologies, how long it's been started, just gave me some basic stuff on it. But that became my Bible. Now at this time, I'm 16, you know what I mean? That became my Bible. I hold on to that until I was 21. That's when I got in the welding program. So I held on to that for 5 years until I was able to get into the welding program. Then I got into the welding program at 21. And when I did, the instructor thought I'd been welding all my life. Like, no lie, he'll come in the booth and say, hey Joe, you just come here to get some paper? I said, no, man, I ain't never did this. I've been holding on this for these many years. So it impressed him so much. Not only did I graduate the top of my class, I became a welding instructor then because he hired me to start helping him teach the class. So literally right after I learned, I started teaching others how to do it as well. And I was still in prison at the time.
That's interesting. So you became an instructor in prison?
In prison, mm-hmm.
can you give us a little backstory on why you were in prison in the first place?
So I went to prison for drugs and robbery. So like I say, I was always into the streets, into making money. So when I come down here to visit my mom from to Arkansas from Denver, I end up losing some of my drugs. So I had to do something to get back home. So we ended up catching a small robbery, a lady that was with me and her, and I ended up getting incarcerated for that. That's why I went to prison. So.
Fix your chair. Not too much. Not too much. Kind of tight. Not too
No
much.
wheel to them. Okay.
Not this way. Perfect.
Okay. So, you already told me how welding first got into your life, right?
Well, actually, my uncles, I have a lot of uncles, and most of them were like younger when I was like little. They were like mid-teenagers, whatever. And there was this little school across the street from our house where they started doing welding classes and other stuff. I think it was like some kind of community college or something. And my grandma would make my uncles go over there and take like welding courses and stuff. And a lot of them, they all had really bad drug habits too, though. So like they would get the certificates and stuff, but then they wouldn't really do anything with them. But so it was like a thing in my family. Like a lot of people were welders. So I didn't know much like that went into it, but I knew that it was a good job because that's what I always heard.
What did you hear about welding that made you think it was a good job?
They just said they could make good money from it.
Okay.
They said it was a lot of hard hours and like the work and all that, but they would just be like, welders make good money. And I was like, I'm trying to make some good money, so. Yeah.
Okay, all right. But I'll go back to the instructor. What made you say yes to this path? Because you already spoke about your mom coming to see you while you were incarcerated, and she heard about the news and blah, blah, blah. But what made you say, okay, this is my path right now?
Honestly, me and my mother was so connected as far as like, she was my mother, but she was my friend as well. And I think I was hers too. So it's kind of like when your best friend come to you with some information that they know is going to be beneficial for you, you just gravitate to it. So not only did I take it just because she was my mother, but I respected her as a person. So when she told me what I can do, it's kind of like she inspired me in a way, you know what I mean? Because she never knew anything about welding, but I looked up to her so much, and the way she talked about it made me want to learn more about it. So that way I could make her proud. So that's what kind of dived into it. And like I say, that was my only avenue from getting out of prison and to be able to make some income without turning back to that same situation. So to me, welding made more sense because I could actually get them 6 figures without coming back to prison.
Okay, so that is what sort of links you guys together, because you've been doing this for a long, long time, and we're gonna get into that as well. Mm-hmm. You said you actually thought welding was great because you could make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And he's saying the same thing because he got into welding because his mom told him, but then it's more like, I don't want to go back to the street. And this is a way for me to make money. So both of y'all actually started this, even though he started this for more than 2 decades.
Yeah.
And you just started, but it's still the same motive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically. Okay. I was tired of doing what I've been doing. And I needed something better, something new. Something that like would push me more than what I'm already doing at like regular jobs and stuff.
Awesome. What was harder about learning welding than you expected?
I think the things that makes it hard, and I think this is from a lot of beginners too, when you look at it and you try to consume it from every angle first, like you try to remember the terminology, you want to get the tools, just take it one stage at a time. I think that's the most overwhelming part because there's so many moving parts to it. You think you got to get it all at one time. And if you just get pieces at a time, it'll come together as a whole. I think that's the hardest thing.
What was harder for you being a student?
I would say just like learning to, the way he said it is, that's exactly like how he teaches it. He teaches it one step at a time. I think that's why it was so easy to grasp onto, because I know myself personally, when I try to consume too much information at once, it does not turn out well at all. So he would just like start us like hands-on immediately, like, okay, come over here. This is what this is how you use it, now use it. And I don't know. It just put it together real fast and everything just clicked once.
Okay, Mr. Joe, what's something that people don't see when they look at this job, this trade?
They don't see that you have to be a mentor to be successful at it. As a job, it can be a job, but it's not going to be a fulfilling and successful job for you morally if you're not involved in it, if it's not your passion. You know what I mean? So I would recommend that a person wouldn't do it if it was just for the money, because you're going to make good money teaching it, but have a passion as far as being a mentor, changing someone, because welding is something they going to teach them, but you have to teach them how to focus. You see what I'm saying? Because welding is based on muscle memory. Ain't no rocket scientist to go into the gym picking up some weights, fam. You know, you gonna go, if you do 10 and I do 1, who gonna be bigger? Right. You gonna be bigger. So all I'm doing is giving them the tools, the equipment, and allowing them to clean their head so they can go in and work out. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, how many reps they do is going to determine how they look when they leave the gym, when they look in the mirror. You know what I mean? So, and it's also going to reflect on their income as well. You know what I mean? So the more you know, the more you grow. So
the more you know, the more you grow. Hearing that, what do you have to say? The more you know, the more you grow.
He's just so wise. He's exactly right. Like, because everybody's different, especially with the learning. So like, what could take me just 2 reps to get down could take another person 10, but then at the same time when you're learning it, especially with other classmates, it like it drives you, because it's like, man, I want to get it down that quick too, you know, and then it could lead to frustrations or whatever. So you got to be able to, you know, help them. Like, it's not a field where everybody can be frustrated at once, because then nothing gets accomplished, you know.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. Awesome. I can see you've learned a lot from Mr. Joe.
Yeah, and I've only taken like 2 courses with them. So that's
courses?
Good. Yeah, like a couple hours here, a couple hours there, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, we're just now getting into the process. So she is literally what we like to call a greenhorn. You know what I mean? But I see so much potential in her. You know what I mean? Like, it's so much potential. It's kind of like, you know, if anyone that does a field and you a coach at it, you can always see the students that get it. See, welding is a thing that you can learn it. Anybody can learn it, but some people get it. You know what I mean? Like, some of us are blessed with, we can just gravitate to it quick. And I can see that being a coach, and that's what I've seen in her. Not only just as being a worker, I seen her transitioning all stages. Like, when I seen her, I said, oh, she can be a good worker, but she can be a great instructor and later a great professor. You know what I mean? Because she gravitated to the knowledge in a way where it impressed me. I gave her some information, she did it, and then I was able to step back and say, okay, I got another student that I haven't told them anything that I told you. Could you walk them through the stages? She was able to walk her through the stages to do the same thing, and that's what made me say, okay, she got it. She didn't even know what she did, but I see it, and I was like, okay, it was natural. I was like, yeah, she got it.
What gave you the confidence that you could actually help the new students?
I actually didn't have that much confidence. He just told me to do it, so I did it. And I just told her what he told me, and I just showed her, you know, what helped me. I was like, of course, you know, you got to work and do what helps you best, but this is what I do, and you know, she caught on to it pretty quick. So
nice. I like the chemistry. Okay, what mistakes do beginners have to make to really learn this trade?
Make mistakes. It's kind of like, you know, I tell people, like, when you if I'm in the booth with them, they'll try to drive right. You know, how kind of like, you know, your dad in the car with you, you ain't gonna do no donuts, you know.
Right.
They need to do that. You know, in the booth, you need to make those mistakes. I'm gonna say go uphill. You're gonna try it downhill just to see, well, let me see if I can make it down here. Maybe he don't know what he's talking about. Go on and do it. Because you're gonna find out from your mistake. Nah, there's a reason why everything happens. You know what I mean? So I feel when you're in the booth, make those mistakes. Do the things you thought, well, you know what, maybe he ain't as smart as he think he is. So that way you can learn it from you can learn it from your own. Because trial and error is everything, you know. And a lot of times, what I have learned, I have 3 children. And all of them is different, you know. And one thing I learned about kids, no matter how old you are, or who you have them, they all go in a cycle. You're gonna have one that you can say, hey, don't touch that, it's hot. They ain't gonna touch it. Then you're gonna have that one, you gonna say, hey, don't touch that, this is hot. They gonna say, well, why shouldn't I touch it? They gonna question everything. Now they ain't gonna touch it, but they gonna question. Then you gonna have that one, you say, hey, don't touch that, it's hot. Well, let me find out. Oh, you go. Right. That's the 3. And so that's the same way with teaching somebody. So I've just noticed that I can tell who you are. You might not even know who you are, but I can tell, okay, you got to touch it. Go in there and burn yourself. Then he'll listen to me. Or she'll listen to me. You know what I mean? So everybody is different. That's why I say you have to have the character to be a mentor. You can't just do this, what I'm doing, for the money, or it's not going to work. If I was doing it for the money, I couldn't read your spirit. I couldn't tell when you, oh man, he got something on his mind, or she got something on his mind, maybe something going on at the house. You can't do this physical thing if you're thinking in another area. You know what I mean? Because then now you can cause yourself to get hurt, because everything we using can cut fingers off, can burn you up, can kill you. You see what I'm saying? So I don't need you to be not in the game. You get what I'm saying? So if something going on, I got to be able to tell that. If I'm all about the money, I can't tell that. I'm just worried. I'm just here for the check. You know what I'm saying? So you'll let somebody drown or let someone do something. That's why I just say having a passion as an instructor, as a teacher, is very needed, because then I can meet people where they are and I can actually change their life. I can't change you if I'm just trying to get the bag, because you won't even know I'm from the bag. Just like you have been the teachers that you knew, they just here, they ain't trying to help me in school, 3rd grade, 4th grade, but then you had them ones that stuck you to the side. You're like, they really kind of cared about me. And they are always stuck with you to this day. That's me. Because I know I got to do that in order to be with them, because my goal is to live to be remembered. I'm not going to be here forever, but as long as I live through each individual I teach, I'm going to live forever. Because everybody I touch is going to pass me down to the next generation. And that's my goal. That's my legacy. That's why I'm here at Arkansas Baptist.
You spoke about this trade being dangerous and how you could actually even get killed.
Yes. Yes. I have had people that I know that all that didn't happen to. So I'm blessed. I got all my fingers, all my eyes, because I practice safe PPE, which is the same thing I teach them to put their stuff on. But if you don't, you can lose fingers. I got friends that ain't got fingers, cutting stuff, you know, because they weren't being safe. Or I got a friend that died, got cancer, out of all of my people that I know, because he wanted to do it for the money. He's chasing the money. You're going to get the money. He went overseas, got the welding on something that they ain't telling what it was welding on, because they paying you. Man, that man shrunk. That man was 220. That man went from 220 to like 80 pounds, like in a month. Died. He got good money. And his wife told me to tell everybody, hey, what he did, he sacrificed, we straight for the rest of our life. All the kids, but y'all don't do that just for no money. So his wife came to me and said, hey, tell him to go get the money, but don't just chase it for the money, because your family wants you to. We appreciate what he did. He died, we good, but we still rather have him. So just don't do it for the bag. You're gonna get the money though.
How did you get this mindset to not chase money? Because initially you got into it for money because you wanted to get out of the street. So how did you grow this much? You say, okay, I'm not doing it for the money anymore. I want to make an impact in kids' life, like hers.
The crazy thing is I've always had that spirit to make an impact. I just wanted some money too. You see what I'm saying? I just wanted some money too. I always wanted to do the impact. It's just always truly been me. But I always truly been a hustler. Like when you're in a situation where you don't have it, you're just trying to feed. So once I figured out how to feed myself, then I realized that it's only a certain amount and I'm okay. You know, after you do so much, that's why I'm okay, because I have got a chance to live the life. I've done, you know, I'm about to be 46, and I feel like I'm entering my 5th life right now. You know what I mean? Since I've been here. So I have experienced things that people my age won't even see. You know, I have done things my mom and them wish they could have did. You know, so I'm thankful. So that's why once you get to a spot, you'll realize the money is just, the money it actually ain't even real. But my skill set and my influence is real though. You know what I mean? So I realized after a certain amount, it really don't matter no more. I mean, how many pair of shoes I'm gonna buy? How many shirts I'm gonna get? How many cars I'm gonna drive? You know, and I don't even like driving now. I would rather have somebody take me somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So you see what I'm saying? So as you get it, I think you start maturing. But you got to think, I've been hustling since I was young, so I got a chance to touch money early. You know what I mean? So the things that people was doing for in their 20s to get money, I'd already did that. I had a Benz at 15. You see what I'm saying? From the streets though, but I had it. So just to let me know, it ain't no difference. I don't need to have that. I did that already. You know what I mean? I jumped off the porch early, so now I can pour my life into them, into my kids, into other people, and I can still enjoy my life though, because I enjoy seeing her do good, seeing so-and-so do good. I enjoy that to see, oh man, they living good over there because of what I liked it. You know what I mean? And to me, that's my riches. That's what I get out of it. You know what I mean? Because the money is going to be what it is. And that's another thing too. Because once I show them how to make the skills from the money, make the money from the skills, then I teach them how to make the money from the money. Meaning you only can work so many hours in a day. So now we got to learn how to use that money because it don't sleep. It don't get tired, it don't eat, and it don't complain. So once you get enough money, then you learn how to use money, and that's where I'm cool now because I got several different ways of money coming in. Streaming, ebooks, authors, products. So once you figure that part out, then you can really relax and start doing what you want to do because you just want to make sure you're good. The main impact is make sure I can change somebody else's life and teach them how to do the exact same thing I'm doing in real time.
Listening to your instructor talk about losing people to welding, people losing their fingers, how does that make you feel? Does that discourage you at all?
It doesn't discourage me. It's like a caution. Like it just encourages me to make sure I'm doing it safely because I enjoy all my limbs personally. So as long as you're just doing what you're supposed to do and you're not making it to like a greed thing or whatever, I feel like everything should be fine. So I just keep my gear on. I don't take it off until it's time to leave.
So, so you make sure it's safety first?
Yes, always. You have to, or you lose thumbs.
What she said.
What's been the most frustrating part of learning so far for you?
It's not really frustrating for me at all. Like, which is odd because usually like starting jobs or like learning new things, it always has its frustration levels, you know, vary, but it's just been really easy. And I think that's what drew me into it even more because it's not hard. Like I'm not stressing myself out trying to learn it or perfect it or whatever. It just, you know, you're either gonna get it or you're not. So I just go with the flow. And that's been the easiest for me so far. Especially because he's not like discouraging at all. So even if I feel like I'm not gonna get it, he's like, no, you're gonna get it. Just give it a couple more tries. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm gonna try it, but I'm not gonna get it. And then I try it again a couple more times. And I'm like, okay, I guess it wasn't that hard.
So you would say being around good environment and good instructor who actually cares about you and your safety is, would you say that would be a number one priority for anybody looking into going into welding?
For sure. If your instructor doesn't care about how well you're going to pick it up or your progress, then eventually you're not going to care and you're just going to do it just to do it. You're not going to put any like real effort into it. You're going to make the line, but you're not going to care how clean it is or if it connects or whatever. If that makes sense. But, because you can always tell when your teachers don't care as well. And eventually when somebody's showing you that they don't care after a while, you stop caring.
Okay. What did welding make possible for your life?
it allowed me to see the country, to see the United States. I went from Arkansas to South Carolina to Washington State welding on somebody else's money, paying for my rooms, paying for my travel. So I got a chance to see the world off somebody else's money and make money at the same time. So that was neat. I got a chance to buy 3 homes, actually. I own one now, one I ended up losing, and then I had a RV. And it was like a $50,000-$60,000 RV, so I got a chance to do that from welding. I can't count the vehicles I have owned. I have had so many since I've been out. I probably had 15 vehicles, and I like old school cars. I like to fix them up too. So I done had from BMWs to Benz to box Chevys to Bubba Chevys to Z71s, you know what I'm saying, to Suburbans, everything on rims, 26s, 22s, 24s, you know what I mean? So I done did all of that. I done had 3 sets of grills. This gold been in my mouth a lot of different times, and all this is welding money, you know what I mean? So this is things I have done from welding just has been phenomenal, you know what I mean? Like this position, me being here at the school, you know, all of this is from putting in the work, you know what I mean? So this took me places that I would never imagine, fam. You know, and this is one of them. You know what I mean? I never think I'd be at no school, you know what I mean? But things happen and life changed, so yeah.
What are you hoping to get from welding?
A better life, a brighter future. I don't know, like I wanted to kind of follow in his footsteps. Like I know he said he could see like the potential in me being an instructor or whatever, and I feel like that would be a good course for me, just because, going off what he said again, I enjoy helping people. Like I've always been kind of like a people pleaser, and you know, I just like to see people excel and do good. Like even in this program right now, most of the other students are like DYS kids. So they're only here during the week, and then they go back to the jail on the weekends, and they're back in that environment again. And then while they're here, there's no like mentors this time around. So there's no one following them around all day and, you know, telling them, except for me. Now, of course, I like stuck myself in that role, but then I got assigned the role after that, because those kids are younger than me, and I'm 22, so I've had a lot more like experience in the real world than they have. So like, whereas I come here and I've had so many jobs already, I understand having to listen to authority, and even if you don't want to do it, you got to get it done, you know, hard work, having to push yourself with no motivation and all that. And whereas they're like 16, 17, 18, and they're like, I don't care, I don't want to do it, I don't have to listen to them, I don't want to, even if you don't want to, you got to do it. So they call me like Mama Heaven and all that, because I'm always on them about stuff. I gave them alarm clocks to wake this stuff up, but I still go knock on their door every morning to make sure everyone's up, ready for breakfast, make sure everyone's in their room ready to go to class when we need to, make sure they're ready to go back to class. I don't care if you're not hungry, go eat. You know what I'm saying? So I just enjoy doing that, especially when you see somebody come to you like one way and you're like, that's just not it, you know, and then you kind of put in the work to build them up and make sure they're doing what they need to do. And then when you see towards the end the progress that they've made, it just makes you proud. And I enjoy that feeling. So,
you spoke about DYS kids. Can you tell us what that means?
oh, okay. I'm still not completely sure. I think it's like detentional youth services. So they're all like, they're all in juvenile right now. Some of them have like done the work and they're like getting released one by one, but there's still a couple of them that are in like state custody. So they get to come here during the week and take the entrepreneurial course that we're in right now, and then on the weekends they have to go back to the jails for the weekend, but they get to come back Monday mornings and like start it over again. So I know it's confusing for them to like be here during the week and get to experience some of the freedom and like, you know, like regular kids, whatever, and then on the weekends they have to go back there, and it kind of just reverses everything that we just made progress on. But you know, they're doing the work and they put in the effort, and I can see a lot of them really want to do better for themselves.
Listening to her talk right now and the work she's doing with this DYS kids, how does that make you feel?
Oh, it just confirms what I already said, that she got it in her. I said that when I met her. You know what I mean? So just to hear her say that, it just, you know, it just aligns with what I said. So I know God leading me the right way, because I just go off the spirit of a person and I just watch. So that's what I seen. And that's what makes this program so valuable too. That's why I'm here too. Because this entrepreneur, this META24 entrepreneur boot camp is for kids like I was. They go into the juvenile and getting them before they go to prison. And they can get them out and change them and give them college credits and a skill and help them with a job, and they can stay on campus. You know what I mean? So if I would have had something like that, you gotta think, I got locked up at 16. These kids 16, 17 years old. So they in the same situation I was. You know what I mean? It just, they had somebody to come down there and get them. And then the thing that we try to fix the problem after a person get in prison, it's kind of hard. It's kind of like Frederick Douglass say, it is harder to fix a broken man than it is a child that ain't never been damaged. You can heal that child, then it's harder to fix that broken man. He can get fixed, but it's gonna be harder. So we're going upstream. The problem is with the babies. So that's why I'm here, because we saving the babies. If we can help change their mentalities at 16, 17, 15, we can change everything. You know what I mean? And by them being in this type of environment, when they hear, people don't know if they a DS kid or if they going to college. You see what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother part of self-esteem. You know, a whole nother part of entitlement they can give them. Say, man, you know, I can belong in this space. You know what I mean? So for me to be here, and for those that follow me and they like, oh, I want to get this, and I didn't show them. That's why I left my Hog On TV channel was up, which it started off at 3 different names. So I started off first at Hog On Welding. Then it transitioned into Hog On University when I started teaching all the time. Now it's Hog On TV, which highlights everything that I went through in the journey. I got over 6,000 videos on this channel right now, you know, on my YouTube channel. And it's doing numbers now because people are going back to when I started. So when they go to my new channel, and I got over 60-some thousand subscribers just on that channel, but they're starting to go back and see how I did it, because that's what I was looking for. I was looking for somebody like to show me the way. But everybody, you know, it's kind of like, we know so-and-so famous, he's from this little town, and then now he's here. But they never gave us a story like how he got there. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to do that with my journey. That's what I did with the Hog On TV. So now a student or anyone can go back and they can see my first job, when I quit a job, when I got frustrated, I started a project, that didn't work, I made something else, so I documented it all so that way you can see there's no finesse in this. You can't finesse it. You know what I mean? You can put the work in and it's going to give you results every time. So I documented it because I know if it's not documented, it never happened. Wouldn't nobody believe me that I traveled, that I did this, I did that, if I didn't document it. Just like when I met you, when you know, we first met, you was like a person to say, oh, they did this and did this. He said, but nah, you live that life. I seen you do this. You actually can still do it. That's a whole different thing. And now that I got an archive of it, I don't have to like pull nobody arms. You know what I mean? And then you can also see that I really want to help you. I don't have to do what I do. You know what I mean? So I did that because I think that that's how we're going to be able to really impact the youth. We got to show them. People been lying, like the OGs lied to me. I'm going to keep it 100. My OGs lied to me. They showed me one hand. Fam, I'm 45. Gonna be 46. They lied to me. You see what I'm saying? I just told them, why you didn't tell me the whole game and let me pick? Yeah, you told me to do all this here, but you didn't tell me about this here. Why you didn't tell me that? You knew it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving the youngsters the whole game. You want the bag? I'm gonna show you how to get the bag this way. You want the bag this way? This is what's gonna happen to you. So my goal is to be realistic and show them that you can do it. You can I touch this figures. You can do it. It's all about work ethics. And welding is one thing that you can use that can get you over the hump. And you ain't got to have no excuse. Miss me with, I ain't got a GED. I ain't got a high school diploma. Miss me with all that. You ain't got to have none of that. I know old mans right now that own their house and everything can't even read and making 6 figures off a skill. So you ain't got no excuse no more. What's your excuse? I'm on this side now. You know what I mean? So that's my goal, is to show them that the only way you ain't gonna be great, you don't want to be great. You're gonna have to live with that and die with it. But if you do want to do something, hey, I'm here for you. You can do it. The example has been written, it's in stone. The blueprint is there. Anybody that uses it can do the same thing. This is not hidden. You know, I'm not no gatekeeper. I'm gonna show you the same way I made 100 grand. I'm gonna show you how to do it, and it's not hard. Actually, it's even easier for me to teach you how to do it, cause I done learned it now. You know what I mean? I can give you the game quicker. You ain't got to go through. See, the thing is, she's 22, I'm 46. The road is the same. The vehicles just changed. The car's just different. You just driving a different car to me. That's it. But by me going further down the road, that pothole is there. She can be cruising that new car. If I don't give her no instructions, she go hit it. Or if she don't listen to me, she go hit it. Because time repeats itself. We on one quick circle. I'm just further down the road. So I'm not saying don't live life. I'm just saying be cautious while you're doing it. And if you want to have more fun, stay on this side than that side. That's all I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I'm doing it by example and by archive. So it ain't like I'm just saying something. It's written. You see me in these different houses. You see me in these different cars. You see me living this life. So I ain't got to, you know, so if you want it, you know, it's here.
Would you say that being incarcerated for 10 years, you said?
Mm-hmm.
At a very young age, is that why you have this connection with younger people going through what you went through during your time?
You know, I think so. But I think I just have a natural calling for the youth too, but I was most definitely them without a guide, without no help, without no, you know, without no, hey man, you can do good. My OGs put work in my hand. That's the best thing they can do. I'm gonna tell you, the advice that I got from my OG, hey man, put that gun down. And here go this ounce of cocaine. That's what they told me. Don't go kill nobody, man, just sell some dope. Get some money, man. Get some cars, mess with the women. You see what I'm saying? So it's like a win. But tell me the rest of this part about the women and the drugs. Give me all the game. You know what I'm saying? But all they could give me was what they had. So they figured, hey man, I'm telling them not to kill nobody, not to shoot nobody. You know, I was told to get some money and mess with some women. That was the best they could give me. You see what I'm saying? And that destroyed me. You see what I'm saying? So I had to save my life from that. So I want to give a person a full 9. And what you choose to do with it, I'm not telling you not to enjoy, not to make mistakes. Just like I say, when I walk off from the booth, you gonna do some donuts. You know what I'm saying? I understand, but at least you got the real game now. So if you do that, you can fix it. See, I did it. I couldn't fix it. They didn't give me that part. I just messed some tires up. They didn't show me how to fix it. You see what I'm saying? And so that's what I want to give them. You know, it's okay to make mistakes. That's fine. You know, we're gonna do that, but know how to fix it. Know when to catch yourself. Know when to look yourself in the mirror and say, this is all my problem. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what welding do, and that's what it gives me the opportunity to help them have accountability. You know what I mean? Because when you step in that booth, it's all on you. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is that's going on, it's based on that individual. So once they get out their mind and they just do the reps, they gonna get the results. So it's even them not wanting to put the reps in or they in their mind. But it's like looking in the mirror. Once you look in it, you got to accept who you are. And I think that's what welding does to people, that really helps them face themselves. You know what I mean? You can't blame nobody for you. You can work hard, you can be better. You know what I mean? As long as you got all the information. So I just want to give them the right information so that way they don't go down the path I went without having the correct information. You know, so that's how I figured I'm gonna change things.
Well, instead of just talking about the trade, you spoke about the booth and how you need to put on your protective gears on and all that stuff. Can you actually show us what it looks like working on a piece of iron or whatnot with your student?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's put some clothes on. Let's burn one.
Awesome. Let's do it. Oh. No, we're not going right now. I'm gonna finish all this question.
Can we that last little, like, that ending, let's burn one, and then let's just hold the position for like 5 seconds?
Thanks for checking in, fam. Thanks for checking in.
How we looking?
Great. We don't have to, we just want to make sure it's a clean exit.
Okay.
Appreciate y'all for checking in, fam. Appreciate y'all for checking in.
Next thing when you hear after that.
Something turned off right now.
Yeah, that light. So yeah, no, we good. I got you.
Yeah, but we're not. I want us to film all the questions here. I just wanted to get that part.
That's cool.
Then we'll go over there.
That's cool.
We're gonna end it over there.
Okay, that's
If we move out of here, we'll end it over there.
I think we done. I don't even have to redo that.
Because I still have more questions right here. All right. That's what I'm saying. Because I don't want us to move our cameras, then we gotta come back here. I just want to get that particular shot.
All
right.
I just gotta get it screwed out.
Okay, good. Because I know you gotta check your batteries and stuff.
Hey, good segue.
You guys
Yeah.
are awesome, man.
Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. She being all real. I told you, man. She got
Nice.
this stuff.
Nice. You having fun?
Yes, I was a little nervous at first, but
Yeah.
I know she was. That's why I got to listen.
To it. We started talking more. I'm like, yes. Just talking more. Nice. Yeah.
Everybody in there.
Okay.
I don't know. Bitch texted me like 20 minutes ago. I was like, what time are y'all headed back over? But I texted Haley. She said, we're all here. But why?
Okay, what you got? What do you
We got power. You know.
So now, okay. Bring it back in.
What up, fam? I want to make sure y'all can see us.
We see your computer in this one. You see the screen.
Was it blurred?
No, it is blurred. It's a little distracting for me, but I think if you turn it down, yeah,
I see what you're doing.
yeah. I just didn't want it to be, super distracting from like the content and the people.
Yeah, that's the up and coming welding instructor.
And ready to put this gear on.
You ready? Since you ready to burn some gear, we're gonna have this gear on in a second. We're about to get ready to do a little welding, fam. I appreciate y'all for checking in. Make sure y'all hit that like button, that share button, fam. Let them know we're going live.